Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I've recently been involved in what can only be described as the most ambitious crossover in internet history. Touhou, one of the most popular game franchises in Japan that's basically a cult at this point, and superstar Hollywood actor Charles White, known for his groundbreaking performance in The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, as well as his lead role as Officer Greg in The Last of Greggs. Of course, I'm only scratching the surface since he's also known to be a professional chess player, speedrunner, singer, card collector, greasy gamer goblin, part-time streamer on Twitch, you may have heard of Moist Critical, and most importantly, Moby Huge enthusiast. In light of the recent Tosu tournament Charlie's Perfect Math class, I was asked to work on a video that truly captured the essence of rhythm gaming. The final product was recently uploaded on Charlie's own YouTube channel, so go check it out if you haven't, cause today I'm gonna give a bit of insight into how exactly everything was made. To start things off, the music. We didn't use a pre-existing cover of Chirno's Perfect Math class, we actually commissioned someone to make an arrangement from scratch, and that someone is none other than Dictate. Dictate is an extremely talented musician, music composer, producer, also featured artist who made some bangers in his time. And he was generous enough to bless our ears with his insanely energizing Touhou arrangement that's just mwah, chef's kiss. By the way, his mixing commissions are open, so I'll leave a link in the description down below. I took the music, edited all the Charlie clips in, and everything was brought to the next level by the amazing visuals made by Rejuvenated. There's very few words to describe Q's work. To reduce him to a mere video editor like myself is a bit of a sin, to be honest, cause I seriously believe he's a proper visual effects artist whose creativity is simply off the charts. To me he's like Mountain Dew. Incredibly entertaining videos, super versatile editor, and I mean, he literally puts more effort in a Twitter shitpost than 80% of YouTubers do in their videos, so it's no wonder he absolutely crushed it on this. I really urge you guys to go follow Dictate and Q right now, cause they absolutely deserve it, and even though I may not be as talented as those guys, you may be wondering, how do you take a song and turn it into a bunch of screaming Charlies? Let's find out, shall we? First of all, what are these videos called? They are YTPMVs, which is an acronym that stands for YouTube Poop Music Video. If you have been on the internet for a long time, you've definitely heard of YouTube Poops before, but just in case you haven't, citing Wikipedia, a YouTube Poop is a type of video mashup or edit created by remixing/editing pre-existing media sources into a new video for humorous, satirical, obscene purposes. They are traditionally uploaded to YouTube, hence the name. A YTPMV is pretty similar conceptually. They feature various clips from TV shows, movies, commercials and other video sources, but the clips are sequenced to fit to a rhythm and tone of a song. There's different ways people make YTPMVs. Some people heavily focus on the music videos part, so they use samples to cover each audio track and then do visuals, with the final result resembling more of a cover than anything else. Some others focus heavily on the YTP part, using sentence mixing, autotune or just funny obscure videos to make something that's a lot less technical but definitely more entertaining. Me, I like to do a mixture of both, so I'll cover most of the audio tracks but also add some sentence mixing on top to make it a lot more memorable. Some of my semi-viral YTPMVs include Swag Circulation, where I combined Renai Circulation and Soulja Boy, as well as two videos with Jax Films, which were actually featured on his own channel back in 2015. How are these videos made, you ask? Everyone has their own methods, but believe it or not, all I use is Sony Vegas. Yes, I am one of those people that still uses Sony Vegas in 2022, cause I love it, you know, it works great, it's very straightforward, better than Premiere, that's for sure, but let me show you how it works. You take an audio clip such as the famous "Woo, yeah baby" clip, you try and find the part that sounds like a single straight note, you cut it, and then you press plus and minus on your keyboard to change the pitch and have it be the same tone of a pre-existing song. Easy, right? Let me give an example. pretty straightforward. Now let's open the project file for Charlie's Perfect Math class. There's plenty of audio clips, to say the least. Wow, that 114 audio and video channels in this project. Very nice. So as you can see here, I asked Dictate to actually send me the individual audio tracks so I'd have far less trouble covering them. You can see them right here, they're all green. Basically just zoom them in and I can time each sample with whatever is going on in that track. When it comes to the samples, Charlie actually suggested to use the Huge Charles channel since it features shorter clips. However, since I'm a huge Critical fan, I actually knew exactly what videos to use. For example, for the percussions I used the Medieval Weapons tier list since I knew it featured a ton of different noises, as well as his Fruit Ninja real life video where I knew I could get some interesting snares and more percussion basically. I'll let you hear what that sounds like. Oh yeah. Oh baby, give me that. Ooh, yeah, yeah. And that's basically how I do it. I'll give you some fun facts, or I guess some tips and tricks that I like to use. When it comes to hi-hats, literally all you need is for someone to pronounce the letter S. So for example, I took this random Charlie sentence. Let's actually hear what that is, because I can't really remember anymore.
Trust me, there's more steps.
Trust me, there's more steps. Okay, so I took this at the end of steps.
More steps.
I cut this, and as you can see, that sounds like a hi-hat. Pretty okay, but if I add a couple filters such as track equalizer, reverb and a tiny bit of high pass resonant filter, it goes from this to this. Ooh, that's a lot cleaner. Bit more high pitched, but it fit better with the song, so that's why I decided to pick that. For the other samples, I didn't really wanna use any obscure clips that happened once or twice on stream, which is why I avoided many of the Huge Charles ones, and I instead chose more recognizable videos even to those who are not quite as deep in the critical rabbit hole. For instance, I used the incredibly mainstream Woo Yeah Baby. I also used the XQC chess match, as well as his former speedrun world record on Mr. Krabs overdoses on ketamine. Speaking of that clip, let me show you what I've done. So this is the first time I actually used Autotune, and I did it all within Sony Vegas. What I did is I used a plugin to make all the sentences on the same note, and then I used Sony Vegas pitch shifting to make it sound the way it sounds. So it's a little something like this. So what I did is I also multiplied this audio track and gave it a slight delay. As you can see, I'm panning it 45% on the right side, and then I give the exact same amount of delay and do it on the left side. So what I obtain is something that sounds a bit like this. It's a bit messy, but basically I put the main track towards the center, one on the right, one on the left, and what you end up with is something that sounds a lot more full and vivid, at least in my opinion. So yeah, let's hear it. See how it bounces from right to left? That's what you want. That's what you want. Everything you see in this project, by the way, is completely made by hand. There's no automatization, there's no bots or anything like that. And even though it may look slightly complicated looking at the length and how big the project is and all the audio and video tracks, all it takes is really just a bit of patience, experience, practice, and lots of copy-paste, since song patterns tend to repeat themselves over time. If you do this with all 21 audio tracks, you do a bunch of different panning and filters and end up with something that has over 100 tracks, you too can create something like Charlie's Perfect Math class, so get to work right now. Now, in all seriousness, I really want to give a massive thank you to the tournament organizers for getting me involved. I made it no secret, Critical has been my favorite content creator online for nearly a decade now, and he's really one of the reasons why I decided to put myself out there and start making videos on YouTube. So to be able to leave a mark on his channel in such a significant way is honestly nothing short of a dream come true. So really, thanks again everyone. And Charlie, if you're watching this and you want a high-end costume mechanical keyboard, hit me up, big man, we can get sorted. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, drop a sub if you want. And you know what, we spoke so much about pitch shifting, audio tracks and all of those things, but you probably really haven't gotten much from just looking at the project file. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna give you a bit of a gift. Yes, I'm actually gonna let you guys hear what Charlie's Perfect Math class sounds like with no background music whatsoever. Obviously it's gonna sound a bit hollow cause background music is very important, but this should give you a better idea of really how much work went into it. So keep in mind, everything you're gonna hear from this point onward is 100% sampled from Charlie's YouTube videos. That's about it. See ya.
No, there's a wasp like this. This makes me feel like I'm not safe in my own fucking house.
They released this Titans trailer and it's abominable. It's abysmal. Porn parodies are more true to the source material than this one.
Oh yes, fuck Batman.
Back. Anyway, not bad. This. Anyway, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Anyway, yes. Let's go. Let's go.
I can't believe it. Yes! He just lost. My bat talk is throbbing. Okay. What was I worried about? What was I worried about? This kid is a fucking perfect. I can't believe he just lost. My cock.
Hello. What's up, everybody? It's Critical. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my hands. I don't usually talk with my hands or anything, but
Oh yes.
back. Anyway, not bad. This. Anyway, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Anyway, yes. Let's go. Let's go.
We are literally just 8-year-olds who happen to be able to make videos.